This video is going to be a little different. Instead of focusing on Rive, we're going to focus on animation. Specifically, how to get started with animation when you don't know anything about it. This question comes up a lot in our live stream, so we figured we'd make a quick video pointing you towards some useful resources if you're just getting started. The first step to learning animation is learning about animation. So these are a few things that we typically recommend. There is the Animator Survival Kit by Richard Williams. You can get that on Amazon. We'll have a link to that in the description box. There's also Character Animation Crash Course by Eric Goldberg. We'll also link that in the description box. These are great resources to learn a ton about traditional animation, and all of the things that you learn about traditional animation are going to translate into animating in Rive. If you're not interested in paying money to learn how to animate, that's okay. There's plenty of free resources out there for you to use. We've linked a couple YouTube playlists that we think are helpful. There's the Animation for Anyone playlist by Alex Grigg. It's an animation crash course. It's a great place to get started. Another one is the 12 Principles of Animation. There's a lot of different playlists out there that you can view, so you can just search for that, or you can use the playlist that I've linked in the description as well. This one's by Tip Tut. And I think it's a really nice, short and concise series on each of the principles and how to apply them. There's a ton of examples. And then if you want, you can even watch the complete series. It's like a 30-minute video, and it's just all of the different videos crammed together. Another resource is the Rive community. We can use the community to learn a lot, both about animation, rigs, and interactivity when we actually get to that and start learning about that stuff. You can go in here and search around and try to find a file that gives you something interesting that you want to learn. So for example, let's say I want to learn about character animation. We can click on one of these characters, so like this jellyfish that Pedro created. We can download it to our file browser, open it up. We can copy this character onto a new artboard if we want to, or we can just create a new timeline and try to reproduce this animation as best as we can, and then compare the keys and the timing and the easing to the original, and just keep tweaking until we get better at animating. The last thing is just practice. Decide what it is that you want to practice, whether it's your timing or your easing curves, and go in and just mess around with simple shapes like this ball. So like this is a practice file I did where I made a bouncing ball. I made a ball bounce across the artboard. So it was a slight iteration on this animation, and then did something a little bit different at the end where it's all working on bouncing, squashing, stretching, all that stuff. And it just got slightly more complex every time I made a new artboard and animation. If you're an experienced animator and you have some recommendations, go ahead and leave those in the comments below so that it's easier for folks to find them.